everyone, welcome back to the channel and to the conclusion of Fear Street. Okay, so we are starting in on the third part, the final movie in the Netflix Fear Street saga. This is 1666. It's going to take us back to the beginning of the curse. If you guys have been watching my other reactions, you know I've been thoroughly enjoying it, that I've got a lot of childhood nostalgia because of my love for the book series. But that, just in addition to that, I've been finding the movies quite fun and well done. And at the end of part 2, we saw Dina basically coming into becoming Sarah Fier when she bled on Sarah's bones. Which is what we have seen throughout the other movies, that if you bleed on her bones, you tend to get a flash of her. You see her in some way and become connected. But she just didn't see her the way some of the others did. She saw herself as her. So I'm really curious to see how they're going to do this, how they're going to wrap everything up, how that's going to come out to play. Just quickly before we get into it, if you guys watched my part 2 video, you know in the middle of it I kept talking about how I was so hot and I didn't understand what was going on. Well, my air conditioner did indeed break. So it is extremely hot, very hot right now, and I kind of feel like I'm dying from heat, but I really want to watch part 3, so we're gonna try and push ahead and see how it goes. Hopefully it'll be okay. You know, sweltering, no air conditioner, so I decided to do the most obvious logical thing, which is to sit in the hottest corner of my place underneath a huge amount of lights by a PC giving off a ton of heat and, you know, eat popcorn and watch a movie. Very smart, very logical, I know, but we're gonna try it. I do have a fan set up here, so I apologize because you guys will hear some of that noise in the background, but it's just way too hot. I need at least the fan, and yeah, even that is not cutting it much. So, but I'm really excited to watch this nonetheless, and I hope you guys will be excited to come along as well. So please join me in watching the conclusion of Netflix Fear Street trilogy, and also probably watching me gradually melt over the next couple of hours. Alright guys, here we go.
Full moon rises before nightfall. A good night to enjoy the fruits of the land.
She's just always, every time.
Alderman Goode.
Sarah. Full moon rises before nightfall.
A good night to enjoy the fruits of the land. Try to clean yourself up before then.
Okay. It's kind of making me sad seeing her friends who are dead. Ah!
Oh, but I see you.
I've got eyes in the back of my head!
Don't be a brat, Constance. Don't be a shrew, Abigail.
Oh,
Sarah!
are they sisters again here too?
A full moon rises before nightfall. A good night to enjoy the fruits of the land.
I'm coming too.
Well, in that case, tell your father this isn't nearly worth it. But thank you, truly.
Of
So,
course.
the same actor that played
Shadows
Nick
fall on us all.
is playing his ancestor
No one
Solomon.
My brother wants me to give up. Move back to the settlement. He says the Goode family are not foreigners. These lands are fertile. I know it. We have a healthy crop yet. Sun will shine on us.
You want to rest some? You look like death.
Sarah Fier, flattering as ever.
I'm going to lose light. I should go.
Full moon right.
I say so.
Yeah, those are demons.
Unlock. Set.
Don't.
lives in that book. He calls to you from it. He senses you now. And if you're not careful, he'll burrow himself beneath your skin. And he'll consume you from the inside out.
Sarah?
Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out! This is wrong. Fier. Tell me to stop and I shall. Someone was there. Someone saw us. They couldn't. What if it was a widow? Or Caleb? Well, Caleb can barely find his own member. But if he saw us, if he tells, that spoiled piglet doesn't scare me. They'll hang us. Sarah. We'll let them hang us then. I was not alive. Before now, anyway.
Uh-oh. Easy for them to believe that she's a witch and that she's evil because of the fact that she's a lesbian, and they consider that to be evil as well.
Sarah, Thomas has been talking. There's something you want to tell me?
No.
I heard you come home late last night. You're out.
What is it? What's wrong?
The babes are gone. She ate them. She ate them all.
Oh my god, why? Why?
Bring
Why?
me the axe, Henry.
Sarah.
The axe.
I don't want to watch those babies. I don't want to watch this.
He takes our water, he takes our lifeblood.
What's happened? What's going on here? Book is caught on something.
Oh, please don't be the dog. Please, please don't be the dog.
Rises. It's coming.
Please.
It rises.
Our water is poison!
You see, you have already drunk from the cup of...
I see.
Well, now he's gonna be upset. He was gonna keep it a secret because, you know, maybe he actually
Listen
did
to
want to
me.
marry her. But now, I don't know what's gonna happen.
Dalliance. Or not. One does not summon the devil by chance. Even the weakest heart, the most corruptible soul, they must make the choice. They must extend their hand. Which you did not do. No. No. You can always come to me, Sarah. The door is always open to you.
Oh god. This is so nice, but I feel like he's definitely going to, betray her? Really think...
Brother, what's happening? The pastor. He's locked the children in the mean house.
Oh god. Killed them pretty quickly. I thought this was gonna be like a serial killer kind of thing. Like he's picking them off one by one. Oh god. That's just a pile of eyeballs. Oh god. Oh. Not eyeballs.
I can see now. I can see.
He took out his own eyeballs too? Oh God.
She witched me and led me to the woods.
Oh God, you bag of dicks.
She was
Just
naked.
because you got rejected.
Riding a red mule.
Just because you got rejected.
And the red mule became a horned man.
Oh my
She
God.
made me watch as she lay with the devil. As both of them lay with the devil. Both of them. Hannah Miller and Sarah Fier. No! No! Witches! Witches! Witches!
I saw Hannah Miller and Sarah Fier.
I saw Hannah Miller.
I will go back to the Buddha. I will make a deal with the devil. Perhaps that can save us. Devil, are you mad? I don't fear the devil, Hannah. I fear the neighbor who would accuse me. I fear the mother that would let her daughter hang. I fear union. They lead us like lambs to the slaughter and expect us to just follow. They will see. I am no lamb.
It's really an interesting thing to think about because,
What
you know,
is over?
historically, of course,
We
there was
will
lots of
leave this place.
bullshit witchcraft accusations that led to a lot of innocent people
Dance every night. Then kiss the broad
being
daylight.
killed.
I can't lose you.
And you wonder,
They want a witch. I will give them a witch.
how many people they turned away from them in this way, you know, accusing somebody innocent of something. And then they're like, well, you're good. Oh, yeah. That's blood.
I'm still me. Always been me. Only I've grown tired of watching fortune turn a blind eye to me.
How could you?
How could I what? Take what we all want. What we all came here for. Power, prosperity, legacy. Consider, Sarah. A single soul. Cyrus Miller. Just one.
Master Miller.
And in return, what no amount of praying could ever bring. One person every few years seems a small price to pay.
One person. The pastor slew 12 children. My brother, innocence.
Innocence? Who's innocent? Your neighbors
It's supposed to be.
forsake you. They curse your name.
He
Everywhere
gives
is
up
ignorance. Dread.
that one.
Yet you resign
So it's their
yourself
life
to
and
it.
soul that is supposed to be given up.
They're afraid.
And anybody else who
Because
dies
they
is
know
like
you're
a.
different. And you are. Someone who refuses to settle for the rules of these dogmatists, who seeks more from the world. You're like me.
I am nothing like you.
I love you! Stop! My thing's going hard!
Oh! Oh god. Well, now we know how the hand thing happened. Gross. Messed up.
I confess.
Oh no.
No.
She's doing it to save her.
No. I walked the line with the devil. I lay with him. I bewitched the good pastor. And I bewitched Hannah Miller. I clouded her mind. I clouded her mind. It was me. It... Oh, come on. Maybe not today. Maybe not tomorrow. But it will. The truth shall be your curse. It will follow you for eternity. I will shadow you forever. I will show them what you've done. I will never let you go. Jesus Christ. Look at her. I told you it wouldn't work. There's no
Oh no.
ending it.
And she, like,
What is it?
cared about him.
We need to talk.
Thank you, King of Sunville, for rescuing poor, shady cider me.
This is how we save Sam.
Nick, good. Nice to meet you.
How we save Shady Side.
Being the heir apparent isn't always easy. What if that's not who I want to be?
You believe it, right? About the curse.
Of course. I know I've let a lot of people die tonight,
This isn't your fault.
but not you. I'm not letting you die.
Oh shit.
We can't kill the devil. The curse is real. It's real. So, we have to kill him. We need to kill Nick Goode. But I called him.
Uh-oh.
I thought he could help. Doesn't mean they can feed us through their meat grinder. Not anymore. It's been 3 centuries. No one else has gotten this far. It stops here. Tonight, it stops with us. We're gonna kill this motherfucker. For Sarah. For Kate and Simon. For Cindy. For all of us. For Shady Side. Now let's do this.
I mean, that's 3, but there's more.
Ziggy.
Nick.
What are you doing here?
Tag, we're in.
So that's the plan. They dumped her blood on him so that his own killers would kill him.
Get them away from me! If I die, she dies! Get away! Get back!
brother. They're gonna give me fucking hell.
The truth shall be your curse. I will shadow you for eternity. And everything you take, and everyone you harm, you will feel the grip of my hand. I will follow you forever. I will never let you go.
Right in the eye. Oh, jeez.
She did it. She fucking did it.
You can hear me. Are you okay? Are you?
Oh my god. The books.
Let's get out of here. Because of her. I'm sorry because of you. Yeah, you're right. Saved your ass. What? It's true, you were dead without me.
Oh. That. Uh-oh. Okay, well that was the end of movie number 3. That was the end of the saga so far, I guess, considering they left that little hint at the end that maybe they'll make some more in the future or continue this in some way. So I thoroughly enjoyed this whole trilogy of films. I think they did a really great job, and I really liked the way that they were able to connect a lot of things back together in this final one. Especially with things like the locations in particular. So when they're back crawling through the cave and everything, and you think about going back to the second movie, we go back to the mall like in the first movie. Everything kind of ties together in its own ways. Excuse me, my voice is kind of cracking out on me. I do think it makes sense, you know. I was going to say, and I talked about this after the second movie, that I wasn't sure exactly what was going to happen with Dina, like, seeing herself as Sarah. If it was going to lead her to maybe think that Sarah was kind of justified with what she was doing and maybe not wanting to completely lift the curse, or if it was just going to change her perception, or what was going to happen, I had no clue. So, of course, the idea that Sarah isn't actually the one responsible for the curse, that does make sense, although I like that they also included that she kind of thought about it for a moment, right? When she was being accused of witchcraft anyway, and she's like, well, we're going to die for it anyway, might as well do it. So it isn't necessarily that she was above doing the sort of thing that the Goodes ended up doing either, but there was different motivations. Like, hers was because she felt ostracized and she thought, you know, it would kind of almost be like self-defense for herself and the person that she loved the most, whereas his and his family's was apparently largely about power. So I like that they did that. I like I said, I knew there was going to be some sort of twist. I didn't quite see some of it making perfect sense. It does make sense, of course, that it would be the Goode family, you know, coming from the Fear Street books, and that the Goode family is the reason that Shadyside is so shit and that their own community is doing well. I don't know, I just find it interesting. I feel like the second movie, and I know they obviously did this to throw you off, but the second movie made Nick out to be like such a more good person, and then this third movie he didn't have any sort of conflict at all. I think it would have been better if he was kind of conflicted about this, and that, like, if he always had been, you know, because I like the idea of, in the second movie, you know, he was being put under pressure by his family to continue this legacy, especially now that his father was dead, and that the legacy, of course, wasn't just becoming the sheriff, but it was continuing this curse and basically sacrificing innocent people in order to keep the family in positions of power and wealth and have everything they wanted and success. I like the idea that he was actually conflicted about that, and that he was being genuine when he was with Ziggy about that, you know, and he says, I'm not going to let you die. But that, you know, it's he had done it, he was continuing on the curse, he was the reason for Tommy, but that, you know, he was seeing all this death and he was starting to kind of regret it. I kind of like that interpretation, and then the idea being that, but then later, you know, he gets pulled back into it and decides to go with his family anyway and gets sucked into it. So to me, I think it would be better if in this one as well, he still had some sense of like guilt and hesitation about it. Not that he was totally full all in, so like the part where he's about to kill Dina and he's just going off about how just another shady sider like going to shit and killing people, and that's going to be her story, and acting kind of like proud about the legacy. I think it would have been better if that sort of thing didn't happen. If there was some sort of like, yeah, but this is what I have to do for my family and to protect them, and but, you know, it's not like I want people to die, but this is what has to happen. Some sort of self-justification that he had, other than it's just fine, and beyond just it gives us what we want. You know what I mean? Where he was feeling like you could tell that he had some regret, and especially because of the connection that they had him have with Ziggy. I would have preferred them to do that, as opposed to just going directly from him seeming more like a good character in the second one to a total evil psychopathic piece of shit, doesn't care about anyone at all or anything in the third one. I think they needed to have a little bit more nuance there. I like how they ended it. So we get Dina and Sam get their happy ending that Sarah and Hannah did not end up getting, but they go back to that spot in order to honor her. I find it confusing, though, that people would just get fully on board with the idea that the sheriff that everyone had looked up to from the most prestigious family in the history of the county over all these years, that he was responsible for all these deaths and that he'd been setting people up. Because they didn't have any evidence. So I'm really curious as to how that just became accepted. I get that they had a history in the town of kind of just believing bullshit stories in order to make themselves go on, and not sort of believe in any kind of curse or anything. But if they were going to do that, you'd think that they would have blamed some other victim. Because, I mean, I don't know. I'm just very curious about that, and if they continue in the future, how that sort of is going to play out, especially because there's still members of the family around. His brother's still around and he's still the mayor. Yeah, so I think that could have used a bit more explanation, but that's okay. I'm not going to be too picky. I will say that I'm very curious as to who it was that came and picked up the book at the end, as they're kind of insinuating that someone else maybe is going to use it to resummon the devil, continue a kind of curse, although it would be a new one, for their own purposes, whatever that is. So I'm interested in who that's going to be. I think the obvious answer would be Nick's brother, because he would be aware of everything as well, and he would be someone that would know that that was the path to go and find the location, and maybe the book would be there. But then on the other hand, they showed the person going through the mall, whereas if it was Nick's brother, you'd think he would just go through the entranceway in his house, right? So that makes me wonder if maybe it's somebody else. And if it is somebody else, that somebody would have to know where the entrance through the mall is, and that is down there, and what it is. And they'd have to believe in the curse story as well. So very curious about who that would actually end up being. And I think it would be cool if it wasn't just the obvious answer. But I suppose we'll only ever find out if they decide to continue it. But yeah, overall, I thoroughly enjoyed these 3 movies, and I enjoyed them as a series coming together. I still think the second one was probably the best as a standalone movie. It was probably the strongest part of the 3, but taken all together, I really enjoyed it. It was a good time, and I hope that you guys enjoyed it too. I'm dying over here, sweating to death, so I think I'm going to wrap this up now so that I can get out of this hot, hot corner. But thank you guys so much for joining me on these, and hopefully I will see you next time. Bye.